I'm Chase Garbarino.
And I'm Greg Gomer, and this is the BostInno Beat, the last BostInno Beat of 2014. Little treat, the best of edition. We're gonna take a look back at some of the greatest moments on the show.
Yeah, maybe before we get started, talk a little bit about, you got some New Year's resolutions?
New Year's resolutions.
You got anything coming?
Yeah, a couple. I was thinking maybe we have a couple more guests on the show, or either that or Scott Kirshner shows every time.
Yeah, I was thinking Scott-only segment.
Yeah.
I was also thinking about doing more actual tech news.
I don't know, it's boring. More funny stuff, more then people watch the show. The tech news is lame. And then last, I think, one of the things we've been talking about trying to figure out is the beer consumption per episode. We either need to have 0 beers or commit to over 5 an episode.
We're in a weird middle ground
2 to 3
right
to
now.
4, just not going to do it. It's either 5 and up or 0.
0 today.
Let's get started.
Well, obviously we're having some problem, and it sometimes happens with live television.
Let's talk about RoboCop.
Oh, hell no.
We'll do it live. F it.
To kick things off today, we are talking some of our favorite moments, the highlight reel. What do you got? Let's get going.
A lot of great deals this year.
Big deals.
Just a lot of deal action. You had Wayfair, HubSpot IPOs, you had Actifio hitting the $1 billion Val Club. Just a ton of deal activity. So why don't we take a look back?
Let's take a look.
Big deals.
Actifio has raised $100 million on a $1 billion valuation. So obviously huge news. Any Boston company enters the Billy Club, as we like to refer to it. EchoNest was founded in 2005 out of the MIT Media Lab. They've raised about $25 million in venture capital funding. All 70 employees will be joining Spotify, which is obviously fantastic.
General Catalyst topping the list of median B round valuations at $278 million. So I guess if you want to go big in Boston, go big with General Catalyst.
I like it. Making moves this week is Bridge. Now we've talked about them a little bit, but this company has some serious potential. One of the biggest things here is that they have the opportunity to really change the public transit system in Boston. Nextview Ventures Fund 1 is actually just lights out. The reason for this comes off the recent Tap Commerce acquisition from Twitter, which happened earlier this week. The acquisition was rumored to be around $100 million. Nextview was involved in both the seed and Series A round. And rumor has it, Nextview has returned half their first fund already with that one acquisition.
Nextview, throwing 7 different kinds of smoke, spitting hot fire. Good for you guys.
Making moves this week, Google is making huge moves locally. They finally unveiled their brand spanking new office in Cambridge. It houses about 800 Googlas, as I think they're referred to over here.
San Francisco, Silicon Valley darling startup Klinkle has finally launched. The company's been around for 2 years, raised $30 million in capital, has laid off most of the staff, has had massive product delays, but it's back, baby. They've launched.
Was it good?
No.
17 IPOs in Boston. Klinkle out west.
Klinkle. Boom. DraftKings will be getting some advertising space on some of the LED billboards to display some of the fantasy scores during the games, and they will be working with the Patriots, to develop some maybe Patriots-themed games or something like that as well. But this is a big deal.
Yeah, no, this is huge.
Causeway Media Partners has just disclosed that they have raised $125 million for their first fund. Making moves this week. Huge, enormous, ground-breaking moves. Smarter has been acquired for $75 million by a company called Pluralsight.
Wow, those are a lot of great deals.
What an amazing group of deals.
What about you? What were the highlights for you this year?
Personally, for me, it's the Goss train.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun with that this year. Scooped a number of fundraisers, acquisition, office space moves. It was a great one, and I think we were something like 100%.
Maybe.
High 90s.
Who's counting?
Let's take a look. Hot off the Goss train this week, we have Manicube receiving a bunch of term sheets. So we know Manicube was part of the Star Tank over there at PayPal. We have Reinvent Ventures, as it's currently being named. Name could change. That is the feeder fund from Rulala founder Ben Fishman. We previously gossed that he was out raising, or has raised, $10 million for the feeder fund from General Catalyst. Now we know that he is signing up some office space. DraftKings is out raising a new round of funding. We know that DraftKings is, quote unquote, killing it, but this round could be big, upwards of maybe 20 million or something like that.
Maxwell Health, big VC round, big VC interest.
Sounds familiar. Maxwell Health, word is out that they're raising a big round of financing.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Maybe last week, 2 weeks ago.
Typically zone out during this segment.
Smarter is actually smarter.
Okay.
Rumors out that they are crushing it, absolutely crushing it. EverTrue is out raising their Series B round. We are hearing that Daily Break Media has been acquired or is in the last second deal of being acquired.
Interesting. That was some great goss there.
Wow, the goss train was amazing.
You know, probably the most popular narrative of the year outside of all the fundings and deals was our main man, Scott Kirshner.
Yep.
Where we started at the beginning of the year, I mean, it's felt like a very special voyage.
Yeah, I mean, he was, so we went through all the episodes. We had 39 of them. He guest appeared on 2, but was mentioned in 45 of the 39 episodes.
Wow. Let's take a look.
As you can see, special edition beat. We have our favorite guest so far, Scott Kirshner, with us. And we actually saw Scott earlier this morning. Chase and I took a Barry's boot camp class, very intense workout. It's actually taught by Scott.
Not a lot of people know that about me.
Scott Kirshner does all of our fashion, so
He's got a great body.
we're not concerned. You shouldn't be either. The wardrobe and the workout are clearly working for him.
He's a stud. When we got back to Boston, we ran into our good buddy, Scotty the Body Kirshner.
So we're gonna get Scott on here in the coming weeks.
We saw him this morning.
Yeah, we saw him walking into TEDx. Looked awesome. We were supposed to have Scott Kirshner on today. He bailed.
He's obviously not here.
He's not here. He says he has something else he had to do.
I'm just not interested in doing it anymore.
We just don't feel like doing it.
One of the most fun companies to cover in the community is the Orange Sprocket. They obviously had an amazing year, a couple of product launches, obviously the IPO, 50 on Fire winner. We definitely had some fun covering them this year. We're going to talk all about HubSpot. HubSpot officially filed their S1 to go public. They plan to raise $100 million. We dove in a little bit to the S1. We got some of the numbers. Their first half of 2014 revenue is about $50 million, which puts their run rate at about $100 million. Their loss in the first half of 2014 was about $18 million, which puts their potential projected loss at about $36 million. 2013 revenues, $77 million, which again, if you take run rate, that puts growth rate at about 30%. So let's talk a little bit about Wayfair. They filed their S1. They plan to raise $350 million. It's about 3.5 times the size of HubSpot. Their run rate is actually $1 billion. Wayfair's founders have actually retained close to 58% of the company, where HubSpot's founders is about 13%.
Yeah.
But still an astonishing difference.
I hate the term unicorn company, but Wayfair is definitely one of those outliers that, you know, they could be a battling for a category leader. And no matter what, HubSpot's going to be, as we know, spitting off good talent, starting new things, whole new class of angels. So congrats to them for making it.
Big couple weeks.
Wanted feedback. We got a lot last week from people telling us that our commentary on HubSpot's S1 filing for their IPO was good.
Obviously. Spot on.
No
surprise.
One of the most notorious characters
Yep.
in the Boston technology scene, which it's not that big, so it's not that big of a deal to be a character. Dave Balter.
Javier.
We went back. Dave Javier Balter went back. He got a lot of good play out of this show.
He did. He certainly did. We blew him up quite a bit.
Dave Balter published this fantastic post on Inc.com that was titled, "I just sold my Google-backed startup for $75 million, and I'm scared."
Ooh. did the bank account not get the money? Is it too much to fit in or something?
Now that I sold it, where do I put my hands?
Am I concerned that by putting Google in the headline, other ventures might not invest or something? If you see Dave out there, looks like he could use a hug.
Yeah.
Give him a pat on the back.
Give him a pat on the
I'm
back.
not usually a hugger, but for Dave.
For Dave,
I'm going to make an
he's
exception.
scared. 75 million to Google.
One of the main reasons we love and hate doing this show is you guys.
For the community.
Yes. We have a segment, regular segment, called Unwanted Feedback.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Where we legitimately do not want to hear from you.
Yet they send it.
Almost
all of you.
Every day of every week, we hear from you. So while we hate it, some people like it, and here's the best of what we hated most. The beat from BostInno is the perfect blend of Snowden, Dr. Zayas, and snarky middle school girls. Totally addicted at Seagarb, at Sligetti.
Yeah, you got my Twitter handle wrong.
The city's own chief of staff,
Dan Coe.
Dan Coe, calling us out last week for not having beers.
Tough week.
Yeah,
It was actually visuals.
Yeah, I guess
Visual unwanted feedback.
I'll just show it to you. Is Greg Gomer a high school intern or some street kid you are training to be a reporter? BostInno stepped down several notches for me today. Now, this was in response to Greg calling the guy on Kickstarter raising money for potato salad an asshole. What's with not even thanks, Pitkin, for LO invite? We need to support our local crazy Vermont hipsters. Not be all confused. It's an experiment that might or might not work, but at least it's not Uber for your dog walk.
So along the lines of the feedback and the community, one of the things that we didn't really realize was going to happen in doing the show is that we were going to become trendsetters for the community. I've seen a lot of people rocking the Red Sox hat. People are starting to grow their hair out, show a little more chest, a couple buttons.
Ankle cleavage.
Can't forget about the ankle cleavage show.
Yeah.
They pick and choose a lot of the different things that we had in the show. We had a dog, we were switching hats. There was blow-up dolls in behind the scenes in one of the episodes.
Yeah, I mean, don't ruin all the highlights, but I do think it's the one thing we were certain of when shooting the show. We don't know whether people were gonna like tech news, but we were pretty certain we'd be icons. That's it for us here in 2014, wrapping up a good year. Happy holidays. Year. Yeah, happy holidays to you and yours. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Incredible 2014. Really looking forward to 2015. You guys, staring at us every week on the computer screen.
Yep.
Happy New Year. Thanks for coming out.
One of the
Hey!